Hello everyone and welcome back to Easy English. Today we are going to talking about causative verbs, in particular have, get, make, let, help. We use these 5 verbs with causative structures, meaning that we use them to say that someone or something causes something to happen. They are essential and they are often a sticking point with students, a point of frustration. Well, I have got you, don't worry, I have got you in this lesson. If I say I have got you, or really slang I got you, it means I will support. Let's have some examples. I had my hair cut. When I go to the hairdressers, I have my hair cut. In some languages, it would be normal to say, I cut my hair, and you can say this in English. But to be extra clear that you didn't cut it yourself, I had my hair cut. Another example, my parents made me clean my room. Let's go into a little bit more detail because each verb is different. But one thing to note is that you can use the causative verbs in all of the past, present, and future tenses. Let's take a deeper look at how now there are 2 ways that we can use have as a causative verb. The first way is to say that someone does something for us. We generally use this construction when somebody performs a service for us or on us. The structure is subject plus have plus object plus past participle. So, following that structure, we have John loves having her photo taken. Subject have in its correct form, object past participle. John isn't taking the photos herself, someone else is performing that service for John. Another, Kurt never has his car cleaned. Don't judge Kurt students. Maybe he cleans it himself. It is a very sensible thing to do. 2 more examples. I had my makeup done, and the last one, Ben is having his house painted. So in all of these sentences, the subject that doesn't perform the action, someone else does it. You will notice that we are not saying who performs that action, and this is normally because it is observed the hairdresser the house painter. In fact, we wouldn't say a house painter, would say decorator, painter, and decorator. We might also not say who is performed the action because it isn't important. This is the same as when we use passive voice. Change the tense of sentences. You only have to change the tense of the causative verbs. Now, interestingly, we can replace have with get in informal situations. This is very common. I use this all the time instead of Tara had her car repaired. It is just fine to say Tara got her car repaired instead of Ben has his house cleaned. Ben gets his house cleaned. Let's look at the second way in which we can use has, have, as a causative verb. This is very similar, but in this case we do say who performs the action. It doesn't have to be describing a paid service, but it very often is the structure is slightly different. Let's take a look. It is subject, have, person, infinitive. An example, I will have Jane call you. This is something a boss might say about their secretary who. An example, I will have Jane call you. This is something a boss might say about their secretary, who in this case is Jane. It makes the person sound quite important, or a mother might use it about their children. I had my children clean their rooms. I will say it does sound rather formal, but if you are wanting to give off quite an important vibe, a vibe of importance, then it could be a really good one to use. Remember to use the infinitive after the person. You don't need to conjugate the verb again, only need to conjugate the causative verb. Let's take a look at some more examples. Let's move on to get. Now, when you get someone to do something, it means you persuade them to do something. The structure is subject, get, person to infinitive. An example, I got my son to cook dinner because I was tired. I persuaded him to do it. Or Helen got the mechanic to check the oil engine. Maybe the mechanic appeared reluctant to check the oil engine or at first. More examples. I got Julian to come to the doctor's with me. Maybe she didn't want to before she was reluctant, or dad got all of his friends to come with him to my performance. Good old dad. See, that is used in context. Let's move on to make. The causative verb is used to say that we forced someone or something to do something. We forced them to do something that they didn't want to do. The structure is subject, make, object, infinitive. An example. She made me watch a horror film. I didn't want to watch it, but she forced me to do it. Or I make my children do their homework before dinner. They had probably preferred to do it after dinner or never, but I forced them to do it before dinner. So we have get, which is preceding someone, and make, which is forcing someone. It doesn't always have to be really negative. For example, I make people take their shoes off. For example, I make people take their shoes off before they come in my house. This is understandable. I am not necessarily forcing them, but I am obliging them to do it. Or the teacher made me change the title of my essay. They obligated me to do it. Let's move on to let. When we use let as a causative verb, it means that we allow someone to do something. We give them permission. The structure is subject, let, infinitive. Subject, let, object, infinitive. Are you noticing a trend here? There is quite the structure is subject, let, object, infinitive. Are you noticing a trend here? There is quite a strong trend. An example, my parents let their grandchildren stay up as long as they want. They give them permission to, or I let the grass go very long and now it is difficult to cut. Another example, please. Difficult to cut. An example, my parents let their grandchildren stay up as long as they want. They allow them, they give them permission to, or I let the grass grow very long and now it is difficult to cut. Another example, please don't let the cat into my bedroom. This has been my life. Recently, we have moved house, as you might be able to tell by the new background, and because so many of you complained that it was dark. Let's move on to the final one. This is help. I am sure many of you will know this word by now. To help means to assist someone. The structure when we use help as a causative verb is as follows: subject help, object infinitive, or to infinitive. We can use create sentences with or without to, and the meaning doesn't change. I know that is a common doubt that gets brought in a lot of classes, so I will show you some examples of that so you can see it for yourself. My mother will help me decorate my flat, or my mother will help me to decorate my flat. Some meaning it doesn't matter whether you include it or not. I helped my friend move house. I helped my friends to move house. Now I would say it is more common to leave out the two simply because it is more efficiently fewer syllables. We like to go for things that are easy to say. Music helps me fall asleep. Music helps me to fall asleep. That is all for now. I will see you soon for another lesson. See you. Goodbye. Love you.